Welcome to the Knights of Lucky podcast. I'm your host, Lucky. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a clone created by the CIA, man. No, this is going to be a bit shorter because I got stuff to do. We have like Easter today with my family. I'm going to go find some eggs. So, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I mean, aside from the fact that it's, horrible already, but now it's like, sounds like somebody stuck a bunch of, cheese balls up my nose. But, so I have been slowly, that was very loud in my headphones. That was rude, Steam. How dare you? No, let's talk about some stuff. I have been doing tons of exercises. And the exercise, as they say, because I recently, past week, have gotten into walking and jogging. Gonna go jog across the street, huh? I love East Coast accents. They're just absolutely hilarious. I mean, you cannot go walk. Well, I'll turn the gain up. So there we go. You can't not do an East Coast accent and not laugh. Because it's hilarious. I mean, why wouldn't you laugh? East Coast accents are like the funniest. So, 2 days ago, I ran 2.88 miles, 600, I cannot, 6,510 steps. And yesterday, I went and walked 2 miles and 2.91 miles with my grandfather, 6,586 steps. So I went on this walk because I was like, hey, me and you should go walk because he walks a lot, I walk a lot, walk together. So I'm like, we should go walk. And he was like, we'll walk tomorrow, okay? And I'm like, all right. And he's like, all right, I'll pick you up at, so-and-so, 5 o'clock roughly. And, it was just, I was like, he said it would be a little windy. And me, I didn't think it was that, like, I went outside and was like, this isn't that bad. So I literally had a hoodie, a shirt, hoodie, beanie. I had like those wraps I always use for boxing on, a pair of shorts and just some, sneakers and socks. They were Deku socks because I am a My Hero Academia nerd, which I need to get back into that franchise. I never finished the other half of season 4 or saw the last movie they made. What was it? Heroes Rising. That's what it was. I think it was Heroes Rising. 2 Heroes was the first one. That was like with the Doctor and All Might, and like Deku fought like some giant trash monster thing on that weird island. Isn't that how it went? It was a long time ago. I need to get back into that show. That's a great show, man. That's so good. I need to get back into it just in time for, season, well, whatever the hell it is. 5. Yeah, 5. But no, we go out on a walk, and it was just terrible. It was so windy. Because I live, some of you might have heard, I live in Kansas. The great state of Kansas, where there's sun and flowers, sunflowers, lots of wheat, coyotes that are gonna, jump out of the weeds and, rip your legs off. It's a wonderful place where there's literally nothing to do besides looking at empty fields of stupid hay and tractors, and it's just boring. Ugh. You know what we have for fun? We have a well out here in Kansas called Jacob's Well. It's a giant well. You know what's special about it? People said that a bunch of people drowned in it. That's what we do for fun here. We are so bored, we flock to a well in the middle of this flat pancake of a state. Statistically speaking, fun facts, pancake. If a state was as flat as a pancake, Kansas would be as flat as a pancake. It's also the 7th flattest state, while West Virginia is the least flattest. And guess what? Number 1 is Florida. It is the flattest. Anywho, but no, it's like we're so bored here, like we flock to a stupid well where apparently some people might have died in, which, fun fact, yeah, there aren't like demons, and apparently it's like it goes all the way to hell. It's bottomless pit or something ridiculous. I don't know. It was probably named, and they came up with the story back in the day when everybody was just drunk as hell on whiskey and moonshine, and they were, shooting their wagons with their, caravan shotguns. What a boring state, but, it's so flat, so it's like on the trail, it's like really windy. And the problem is like, because it's so windy, it's just like, some guy, to the left of the trail was like, I don't know, he's like doing something. I think he was like fixing up stuff for crops in his tractor, and he was like shooting up like tons and tons of dirt, and the wind was like coming right towards us, and it was just carrying all of this dirt and sand and rock, and it was getting in my eyes, and like I could feel it getting into my teeth, like I had just ate a handful of sand. But it was horrible because it was like a lot of like half of the trail was just like, because there were like trees and bushes on the side of us. And the good thing is like the trees and bushes blocked a lot of the, the cold, wind and air and whatnot. But the problem was it was like that only covered like half of it. There was some woman in like a track jacket and short shorts with, like tennis shoes with, those ankle socks. I was like, what are you doing? How are you? And it's just so stupid. It's like some of those exercise gurus just make me laugh my ass off. Because it's like, I shove like 1 gallon of, protein powder up my butt. Then I inject my legs with like horse tranquilizers. It's like, good Lord. I pour, beet juice into my eyeballs, It's like, good Lord. It's just ridiculous. It's like, it's so stupid. So stupid. It really is. Like me, I like to exercise, but I wouldn't call myself like one of those exercise gurus. I'm like, yeah, I like exercise, but I'm not like weirdly into it. You know what I'm talking about? Like when someone's like weirdly way too into something, it's like, okay. It's a little weird. That's the way with me, is like, people like that are weirdly into exercise. I'm like, something's weird about them. Stay away from me, please. No, keep your protein powder away from me. That's the thing. I'm not one of those idiots that are like, oh man, I want to do everything all natural. Essential oils, herbs, man. It's the government, man. They're trying to irradiate you. I'm not like one of those people, That's like weirdly into that stuff to the point where it's like almost creepy. It's like that stuff's nonsense. It's like, I'm not one of those like, like natural medicine, pseudoscience, holistic, nut job, anti-vax anti-science and medicine, pro-plague people, you know. But I'm like, I don't really need to drink protein powder. Like, I can just eat some eggs, you know. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. Like, some people do that because they're like, they need to get a lot of protein in a short amount of time. But for me, like, that doesn't really, like, that's not a big deal to me. Like, I'm not like, oh, the clock is ticking. It's like, no, I'm not like rushed. So, like, you know, I can cook a plate of eggs and be fine with it, you know. Some people just do that, you know, to get as much protein as possible, you know, as easily as possible, you know. Me, like, I don't have to worry about that because, like, I don't really have time constraints. So I can, you know, cook a plate of scrambled eggs and some steamed broccoli. That's my stuff. That's what I like after, like, a nice jog. A plate of, you know, a nice jog before or after. A nice plate of scrambled eggs and some steamed broccoli. Just that. That's good. I like that stuff. But yeah, we were, you know, we were on the trail, and it was so weird. It was like, we were walking by, and, you know, like, all of a sudden, like, I noticed there was this, looked like a piece of trash, like, in the neck of a tree. I looked closer, I was like, is that an Easter egg? And I looked, and I went and picked the thing up, and I was like, what the hell? What the heck is this? I was like, oh, it's an Easter egg. And it was, like, full of change and whatnot. And then we went down, kept going down the trail, and on the way back, my grandfather found another one. You know, I found one, and he found one, and then, you know, kind of opened up, and it's like, oh, it's a bunch of coins and stuff. And then he was like, he gave me both of them, you know. And it was funny, because it was like, I told him, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if these were, like, some old coins that were actually worth some stuff? Because it was weird, because it was a lot of American money, like dimes, nickels, you know, quarters, stuff like that, you know, from the U.S. But the weird thing was, like, it was a bunch of, like, a lot of other coins from, like, different countries. Like Australia, like, there were, like, a bunch of euros. There was, like, what else? Like, Israeli coins, like, from Israel and whatnot. It was so weird. It was like, what the hell? Because it was weird, because it was like they were just left out there, and, like, we were like, why the hell would people put them out there in the first place? I thought maybe, like, you know, probably it was like, you know, some family walks that route every day, and, you know, maybe they were like, you know, they had kids, and they were like, hey, the Easter Bunny put a bunch of eggs here. Go pick up those eggs. It's got money in it. But it was so weird, because it was like, they were like old coins. Like, not like ancient, like thousands of years ago, but like old as in like a couple decades ago. And there's even one that was from 1918. You know, 103 years old. Like, that's really old. You know, that's over a century old. That's like, that's literally like 5 times my age, you know? It's weird. So it's like roughly 5 times my age, you know? But it was so weird. It was like, why would they, like, I would get like just putting like a bunch of like just normal coins, but it was like, why a bunch of like different old coins that like could be worth stuff? That's what, like, I was like, I couldn't really understand that. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. So it's like, I'm trying to look up and see what their value is. Some are worth like a couple bucks to maybe a couple $1,000. So the one from 1918, it's in pretty rough condition. It's worn down and it's bent, so it probably wouldn't be worth a whole lot. But, you know, like, if it's, you know, worth, you know, a couple bucks, I mean, what the hell? It is kind of weird. It's like, it's one of the weirdest things I think I've ever found, you know? Like, every once in a while, you come upon something, it's just, like, weird. It's like, what the hell is this? You know? Like, I'd have to say, it's like, it's one of the weirdest things I think I've ever found. Like, it's, It's like I would get like just, a couple like nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies from the US, that would make sense. But like, why a bunch of...
Ready at 3?
Yeah, I'll be ready.
I'm not sure what's going on. Dane's still at forensics. Mike's still at work.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
That's my mom, by the way. But no, it was so weird. It was like, why would they put like a bunch of old valuable coins, Doesn't make sense. Because it's like, if they're worth anything, like, why would you... I guess if it's like some like ultra rich dude who's just like, what the hell, I'll throw away a quarter that's worth like $500,000. Why not? I have the money. But it was so weird. It was like, it's just one of the weirdest things I think I've ever found. I think when I go to Easter today, I'm going to bring them to show my grandpa them, because I was like, it's like, it's so weird. Like, I don't get it. I don't really get it, but it's cool. I was like, well, I guess nobody else is going to get it, and might as well. I'll take them. Because they were like, like one was like way off in the grass. Another one was stuck in like a tree, which you could kind of see the one in the tree, but the one in the grass was maybe a bit harder to find. But it was so weird. It was just like, what the heck are these things doing here? But yeah, I've been doing a lot of exercise. I like exercising. What I do usually every day is I go out, I do like a 3-mile like walk, because it's really nice, because it's like from my house to my grandparents' house and back is like almost exactly 3 miles. And they say like you should try and run like 3 miles a day or walk. I kind of like, I don't run, but like I walk and jog. Like I'll walk for a bit, then I'll jog, then I'll walk, jog. So if you like, you don't have to jog or run the entire time, as long as you like walk at a pretty decent pace, which I can. I just walk through town. I walk back and forth to my grandparents' house. Because that's like my 3-mile point. It's like from my house to theirs, okay, boom, halfway there, then I walk back. So it's actually really nice. I like to work out at the end of the day. I don't know, for me, it's like, I don't know, I just find it real hard for me to get up in the morning and do that. It's like, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, because like, I don't sleep a whole lot. Like, I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So, for me, it's kind of like, I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So I guess I could do it, but it's like, you just kind of have your preferred time. I like doing it more like at night, later in the day. Like I do it at like 7, That's when I start working out, like I'll go run, walk, jog, do like 3 miles. I'll come back. Then what I'll do is so that takes roughly about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast I walk. So that's an hour of cardio right there. That's great. Then I come home and I do like 20 minutes of like, I have the, like I do, like push-ups. Then I do like 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups. I do like 30 swings on the jump rope. I think I'm going to try and do like just a minute of doing that. Then 30 jumping jacks. Then what I do is 30 of these like 4 different weight exercises. I have like these 8-pound weights and like 2 3-pound ones. So, I lay on my back and I just like, like lift them, then push them straight in the air, put my arms straight up into the air, pull them back, up, down, like that. Then I lay them out sideways, like spread them out, like T-pose, then bring them up together, back down, up together, do that. Then I get up, I do, 30 curls. Then I call them Rockies. I don't know the exact name, but it's like I saw it it was from Rocky 6. It's like in the training montage, like Sylvester Stallone gets like these giant weights, these big weights, and he's like swinging them around, like kind of like punching, like undercut horizontally and whatnot, like that. And I do like 30 of those. Then I do 30 of those just with my left arm, because my right arm it's a hell of a lot bigger than my left arm, because my dominant arm is my right one. So, I do 30 just for the left side. I actually measured yesterday. My right bicep is 12 and a half inches, which is, that's an improvement, because the last time I measured it, which was like a couple months ago, it was 12 and 1/4 inches. So that's, a bonus. And before I really started doing weights, it was 11 and 3/4 inches. Now it's up to that. So slowly but surely over the months, I've been gaining little muscle. And I'm not trying to, it may not seem like a whole lot for other people, but like my forearms and biceps compared to how they were are like unbelievably huge. Like before I started really working out, which was last year in September, they weren't that big, but like compared to how they are now, like damn, like they're like my forearms are like, good God, like just like compared to how they were, like just ripped. Like, it's insane. But yeah. So I think I'm gonna look into some more weight exercises, because I want to gain more muscle. And it hasn't been the most insane amount of muscle I've gained, but I've also lost 4 pounds. I don't know if it's water weight. I'll have to check. But from when I last weighed, which was 2 weeks ago, I was at 186. Then I weighed yesterday and I was 182. So that's 4 pounds. A lot of that is probably due to water weight. And like I said, I'm not eating as much. Because I'm dieting, as they say. I'm going on the straight and narrow, as Bill Burr says. Which, fun fact, one of the biggest inspirations, if not the biggest inspiration for this, is Bill Burr. I'm a huge fan of his podcast, so it's very inspired by it. I love the guy. But, no, I've been eating, like he said, have a nice big salad for dinner, huh? He's got an East Coast accent. He's from Boston. It's also funny because, that laugh I just did there, it's funny because it's how, when you listen to someone for, a certain amount of time, and over that amount of time, you slowly, start to, your laugh sort of starts to change, where it's a little bit like theirs. That's kind of how it was for me. I've been watching them for ages now, and it's slowly changed. But yeah. But no, I'm eating healthy. I am eating protein, as they say. I have this Greek yogurt shake. It's it's really nice. It's this, Greek yogurt and this little bottle. And it's got 20 grams of protein in it. So I'm just it's perfect. I use that after a workout. I just sit down, shake it, pop it off, uncork it, whatever they say, and drink it and, get some protein. But I'm cutting down on carbs, I'm not really eating, breads, grains, pastas, stuff like that. I'm limiting that. I'm more substituting it with I don't do any of that intermittent fasting crap. I want to try that maybe at some point, but for me, that's a bit too extreme at the moment for me. I just eat less and eat healthier, Because I'll admit, past couple months, I haven't been eating the best, so now I really am. So I'm eating tons of canned fruit and vegetables. Canned fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. A lot of protein, stuff like eggs, chicken, beef, peanut butter, some beans, like protein, and like yogurt and stuff. A lot of yogurt too. I like yogurt, the good kind. So been doing that. And yeah, a lot of that. And I've been drinking a lot of water. Water is the stuff. Because that was his recommendation. Is because, like, obviously, like, I'm eating less, so I'm going to be a lot hungrier. And plus, when you, like, when you go on a diet and whatnot, and you don't, like, eat sugar and stuff, the problem is like, you, will, hold on. Like, your body goes, like, almost into this state of withdrawal. Like, you're not getting your sugar, and you can feel it. Like, when you just eat, no crap. Just, like, fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. And just, like, a bowl of cereal, like bran, where it's, like, barely tasty. It's, like, you can feel it. Like, you feel, like, like, just horrible. So the past couple days have been a little rough, but I've been crushing it out. My little treat I've been having is like half a like a Cliff Bar, and like a canned thing of like mandarin oranges or like peaches with like light syrup, like extra light syrup. That's like my treat. And whatnot. So what I've been eating for breakfast is like, like some Raisin Bran, then fruits and vegetables like for lunch, kind of snacking throughout the middle of the day. I've had a couple like, lightly salted like tortilla chips, a couple of them just to snack on. And then at night I have some, canned fruits and vegetables, or just like a salad. Then I chug a bunch of water. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what Bill Burr recommended. Once you're kind of like getting hungry in the late at night, what you do is you chug water. So it fills you up. Not to the point where like you're literally, when you drink a ton of water and you feel like you're about to puke. Not to the point where you're about to puke, but like where it's kind of filling you up and whatnot and holding you off a bit. So it's like, I'm full, Do that. That's what I've been doing. That's not a bad trick, So I do that. But I've been eating healthy. So, yeah, I've been doing good. Been doing A-okay. So I've been doing pretty good, honestly. So I'm happy for myself. And my stomach looks a little flatter than it usually is. So, that's nice. Also, I don't know, it might be in my head, but like, I just looked in the mirror yesterday, and I was like, look at that handsome man. No, I'm joking. But no, I looked and I was like, yeah, I look a little thinner on the sides, if that makes sense. So, slowly but surely, I'm really getting into exercise. Because I want to get, I don't want to get like, like I don't want to get like the Hulk, like I don't want to be like, unbelievably jacked, but like, pretty like dang jacked, like what I've said is like, I want to lose a lot of weight. I want to get a bit thinner. I want to then replace that with a good amount of muscle. You know, get some giant, you know, abs. Or not abs, biceps, you know. A decent pair of abs, maybe. You know, stuff like that. So, praying for that. So, yeah. And I'm going to try different exercises and stuff. But, you know. Then, oh yeah, I forgot. After I do the weight exercises and the, like, push-ups and stuff like that, that's about 20 minutes. Once that's done, so it's about an hour and a half so far. Or, roughly about an hour-ish. A little bit over that. Then I do like 20 to 30 minutes hitting the bag. You know, just slam that thing out. Just bang, bang, you know. Just beat the crap out of it, you know. Not to the point where, like, you get all winded, but, like, to properly, like, I'm not a proper boxer, but, like, I've, you know, like, I know, you know, like, okay, this is how you box, you know. Keep your heads up, bob, dodge, weave, you know. Don't go super crazy, you know, build yourself up, you know, work on your breathing, you know, that type of stuff. So I do that. So it's probably about like an hour to an hour and a half in total. And then I'm done. Then I fall on the floor and drop dead. No. But, no, yeah, once I'm done with that, you know. Once I'm done with that, I'm done. So, that's my workout. But I'm going to try and do new stuff. Because that's fun. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm planning on getting really fit, hopefully ripped this summer. You know, I really want to. I'm really committed to this. Like, I've gotten to the point where, like, you know, the hardest thing about exercise is obviously people have said is starting, which is true. I mean, really. Exercising, it's really just the first, like, couple weeks just suck. You know? It's hard to get into that the first couple weeks, you know? But after that, you know, then you're fine. Like, you've become accustomed to it, and your body and your you know, your mind, and just in general, like, schedule-wise, you're used to it. You know, you slip into that groove and everything's fine. And then once you get to that point, you actually like it. Like, I really like exercising now. Like, especially, like, walking around town and running. Like, you know, like, put on some good music, a podcast, and you're having fun. You're having a blast, you know. You know, so it's nice. It's really nice. I like it. So I do that quite a bit now, and yeah, I like it. You know, and I recommend, I mean, you all can do whatever you want, but I recommend you work out and exercise. I want to keep you all happy and healthy. I don't want all you to die on me. I mean, what would I do without you? No, literally, though. I don't want you all to get sick and, you know, dropping dead, so I recommend you work out with me this summer. Maybe I'll do like a workout ASMR. Hey, that's not a bad idea. I'll write that down. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing this summer. I'm preparing my body. I'm working out, and I'm gonna get ripped. Not superhuman, crazy, Hulk ripped, but like, damn. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, but yeah. Now that we have talked about this, we will briefly cover maybe one or two stories. Nerd story podcast things. I don't know. So a crazy thing, reportedly, apparently, if I remember correctly, Sony is pushing for a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. You know, the Raimi. The Raimi films, Apparently. If I remember reading correctly, there was, rumors that there was a Spider-Man 4 apparently coming back and whatnot. So, which could be interesting, I'm very excited. So that should be cool. That should be awesome. But, yeah, it's interesting. What else? What's some other news? So, the news is that apparently there's a Spanish actor, a Spanish dub actor, Spanish dub actor for Mcguire. He did, the Spanish dub for Tobey Maguire in the Raimi films back in the day, who apparently has been that he might be coming to do it because I don't know. Basically, this guy had been linked to something. I think they said that he might be in Spider-Man 3, possibly. But basically, they figured out that so apparently he said in passing that, I might be in Spider-Man 3 voicing stuff. So this kind of adds more evidence to the story, obviously, that, Tobey Maguire probably is coming back to be, Spider-Man again, It's been famously said that it seems like all evidence points that it's going to be sort of a Spider-Verse tie-in film, where it ties in, the previous live-action versions of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. It's got a lot of their other characters, like Gwen Stacy, MJ, Doc Ock, Electro, a bunch of, classic villains from those films, which it's been confirmed that Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro and Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Those are confirmed. And it seems like all evidence is pointing towards, the fact that Toby and Andrew are coming back. And it seems like also that there is, a decent amount of evidence that, like I said, Charlie Cox is going to be reprising his role as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, in some way or form in Spider-Man 3, which I personally find even better. I actually find that more exciting than previous versions of Spider-Man. Not that I'm not excited about them, but I don't know, I just really find that cool. But, so that's interesting. So, what else? So, yeah, that's interesting. Let's look up some. Oh, well. Well, let's just do some questions. Let's do that. We'll do some questions. How about that? Do a couple questions and then I'll end the podcast because I gotta get ready for, stuff. Alrighty, let's see. Hopefully it uploaded. Okay, we don't have many questions here, but I will do them. Okay. Which of your ASMR videos are your favorite? Why is that? Love your audience. Okay, man, that's an interesting question. I'd have to say my favorite one would be the original tsundere one I did. Because I would say that was the real, like, I'm not trying to act like, look at me, I'm all famous and I'm a genius, I'm the greatest voice actor of the world. No, I'm some dorky farm boy nerd from the middle of nowhere in Kansas. I'm not great. I'm just an amateur voice actor trying to make it big. But, like, I would have to say what it sort of led me to, I guess, what you would call claim to fame. At least what I would say, kind of really, when I kind of hit the big times in terms of, on the rise for voice acting on YouTube and ASMR would probably be the tsundere one. That, I think, was the real claim to fame, because, like, that's when I really was like, wow, this is nuts. It's like, hold on, I'm going to go back and look it up, because, like, that's what I got to say is, like, that was the real claim to fame, I would say. Like, I remember, like, back in the day when I uploaded that, like, that's when I really realized, like, yeah, this is kind of nuts. Like, man, you're sort of taking off here, huh? I was surprised, like, how big it was. Because it was pretty nuts, Like, it was a pretty big video. Like, here we go. Let's see. Where is it? Should be right. Where is it? There you go. Okay, let's see. 260. Good Lord, over 268,000 views. Wow. Over 1,000 comments. Like, yeah, that's nuts, man. That's a huge one. Like, just insane. Like, I cannot believe that crap. Like, that I would say is really when really it took off, I'd have to say. Because let's see. If I remember correctly, well, no, that wasn't it. The Please Don't Die one, that was a huge one. That's when I was like, kind of, that's when really I realized, like, the tsundere one, that's when I was like, because that was like the second time I had a video that broke 100,000. It was 200,000, Now, over the years, then the yandere one was another 200,000, then 100,000. Like, it was pretty nuts. So, like, I think the highest one I've ever had was, I think it was the Jealous Bad Boy one, which was like 300,000. That's crazy. But, that's when I really, like, realized, when I was like, yeah, you are really taken off. So I'm fortunate that I did, really. But yeah, it was pretty nuts. I honestly couldn't believe it at that point. But yeah, I love that one because it was just my favorite one I ever did. I like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but, you know, based on fan reaction, like, it seems like that kind of video is pretty iconic. You know, it really was an iconic, you know, video for me. You know, that's really when I was like, wow, you were really doing some crazy work here, man. So, that's probably my favorite. Oh, that's sweet. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I helped you out. That's really nice. Well, take care. I'm glad I could help. Okay, moving on to another question. Would you rather only be able to make M for M? Honestly, both. You know, like, I want to make them for, you know, men and women. I mean, that's the thing. I always do, like, most of my... Unless it's, like, a very specific, like, the storyline is, like, you know, depending on one gender, you know. I always do it just, you know, M for A. Male for anyone, you know. Because I don't want anyone to be left out, you know. So, no, I'd just keep doing both, you know. It's like... There really is no reason for me to pick one or the other. So I don't want people to be left out. So I'd keep doing, you know, both. Because I want everybody to be included. So I'd do both. Then, what's the last question? What type of dare am I? I honestly don't even know. Jeez. That's a question, as Andrew Garfield in that crappy-ass movie would say. Criminy. Let's see. Let's look it up. I don't know, actually. Whatever one is, like, sarcastic. Yeah. Yeah, whatever one is sarcastic, that would probably be me. Who the fuck? Whatever one is sarcastic, that's me. That's my personality. So that's what I'd have to say. But yeah, this has been the podcast. I want to thank everyone for coming and listening to my mediocre podcast. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you sometime. Probably. I don't know.